Hey guys, how's it going? So I'm going to do a little interesting thing tonight. Probably wouldn't have never expected me to do this, but I'm very fascinated by something that's going on. So obviously I got a lot of reads up. You can check for the inauguration, the impeachment. He did get impeached. Looked like Pence didn't do the 25th. We kind of knew he wouldn't. You know, he doesn't want to be the bad guy, whatever. So I get it. I get it. But something I was listening to the news and I was watching an interview with, obviously everybody knows who Q Shaman is. I don't think you need me to tell you. I think his name is Jake. Is that his real name? I think it is. I want to go in knowing as little as possible about him. So I haven't read any articles about his life or anything. I'm only going with bits and pieces, basically what I heard. He apparently really, says he's a shaman. He's a real shaman. Obviously, he eats organic food, okay, because he won't eat anything unless it's organic in jail. He's kind of in there. We know him with the horns and the tattoos and everything that's going on. And we obviously know he believes in QAnon. But I was listening to the attorney. I hate to say it, the attorney made a few valid points. He went to the Capitol because the president said, go. And another thing is, when he got in there, he didn't beat up on anybody. He just, he obviously did go all the way in chambers, so he's got to be charged with something, okay? But he didn't hurt anybody. So I just kind of tuning into his energy. I'm kind of, I was thinking about it, and Spirit's kind of whispering in my ear. And is like, Ellen, he's a light being who got duped by some QAnon stuff, but he's an actual light being. So I kind of looked at it, and then I thought about it. Okay, I've talked about Light Workers of the World on Facebook, the group. I think it's, let me look at it right now. How many people are in that group? Give me 1 second. Let me look at this on my phone, because I want to give you guys an accurate number. Hold on 1 sec. How many people are in that group? Hold on 1 sec. God, I can't even type here. Okay, there it is. I don't even know if that's the right one. Okay, so it is 355,000 people. Okay, that's the point. My point is, I could easily have seen him in that group, writing posts, commenting things, and there's a lot of people who believe in what he believes in that group. There are light people that, for whatever reason, got swept in. Now, something interesting happened before I was about to do this read, because I'm going to do my animal spirits, because he's a shaman. This card, my cards just fell down, and I drew, this card was sitting up, and it is Wasp Spirit. Sometimes life stings. And I feel he kind of knows that right now while he's sitting in jail. Okay, is he, I feel like there is hope for him to have a moment of awakening, in there to kind of see what's going on, And so what I kind of want to read on, is who is this person? And I know you're going, why bother? He's just a jerk, this, that. No, because I feel like he's a good, he's a good example and a good representation of light people who got swept up in this thing. And maybe he's not necessarily a bad guy, but he got his mind, he was, see, the light people are rather open, and one thing with a shaman, the astral opens wide, and there are a lot of forces that will try to stop the shaman from being able to heal others and help other people on the path. They will get tripped up. They will get tested. Sometimes they get attacked by spiritual forces. All kinds of things like that. So it wouldn't surprise me that a shaman like him would possibly get attacked by certain spiritual forces, just like what's going on with this, QAnon stuff. But I'm going to use a Starman deck, and I'm also going to use some Oracle decks that are more of a shaman flavor. Let's kind of look in who is Q Shaman. And I don't know if he'll ever see my video. Maybe if he gets out of jail, I'll look into that too. But maybe like maybe he'll see it one day and kind of be like, oh yeah, I don't know, but I'm just going to kind of stick it out there, and I just want to kind of see, because I can't explain it, but I just feel like this is not really a bad dude. Maybe I'm looking at it from a different lens, but I feel like he's different than some of the mob that were rabid. Okay, let's check it out. Okay, so that's what I'm going to focus on. I'm going to kind of be the psychic spy, but I know some of you guys, let me move this out of the way. We'll come back to those later, are kind of curious about him. But I really feel like, he's no different than a lot of light people. Yeah, and see, that's what I get. The very first card is the High Priestess in the reverse position. So I feel like his intuition, I feel like there is an intuition there. Anytime the High Priestess shows, there is an intuition. But he wasn't listening to the inner voice. Another voice took over his mind. This QAnon stuff. And he stopped listening to his inner voice. He stopped trusting his own intuition. I see that's the downfall of any spiritualist, and everything. We're trying to stay on guard with our mind. We got to protect it and so forth. I want you to kind of look at the King of Cups. See that image? It's kind of got that, it doesn't that kind of look like him? See, he's got that wild garb on and everything. I don't think there's any horns in this one, but he's definitely got the bare chest and the wild garb. I'm going to have to look up and see if I can find his birthday. But see, notice it's in the reverse position. So we, his emotions are a little imbalanced and so forth. But looking at this wild character in this image, I would say he's the shaman. That's definitely what the King of Cups looks like in that image. But he's out of balance and he's not paying attention to his inner voice. For those who may be wondering, Seven of Cups, he may have experimented with some drugs in past and so forth, but he's on the wagon. Okay, so if anybody wonders, hey, is this guy crazy? Is he high? What's going on? I actually got the Seven of Cups in the reverse position, which tells me he is not doing anything unhealthy. There is no drugs. I don't even think he drinks alcohol. But he may have had an addiction in past, but he got a handle on it. And I feel like a past addiction may be part of the reason he found a healthier lifestyle. Not that the lifestyle is being healthy at the moment, but you know what I'm saying, like being healthy with his body and so forth. Now, I do take note, I've got 8 of Swords in the past position, which can be, for me, jail. It is in the reverse position. So I have a feeling he may be getting out on bond or something like that, possibly. But I do feel, I kind of look at that. I don't feel he will be put away for years and years on end, looking at a reversal of the 8 of Swords. But I just hope he learns his lesson in the sense that he gets his wake-up call. He really needs that. Now, I've got the 4 of Swords in the reverse position. So I feel like, this is obviously very much a meditation card and so forth. So I just see that reversal and I feel like he needs to get back to his roots, and get off social media and get in nature and retreat and everything like that. And see, I feel, looking at the inner voice, the High Priestess in the reverse position, I do feel the inner voice was screaming at him not to do this. You know what I'm saying? I feel the spirit was trying hard, but see, he wasn't, connected and meditating and so forth on that lesson and everything. And he just kind of went with it and everything. Something's taken over his mind. Now, I do have the Empress, so I do feel in his quarter, he's connected to the goddess. He is connected to the Mother Earth spirit. The Empress definitely represents Gaia. So see, we were kind of talking, is he a real shaman? I do feel he is. He may be a Heyoka empath or something, but I do definitely feel he is very connected to the earth. That is very important to him. What happened, though? What happened? I would kind of like to see what happened to Q Shaman. Let me look at this one for a minute. I don't feel that's important, though. Look at this one. I feel like when I look at the Four of Pentacles, normally it depicts a person kind of holding the pentacles back and so forth, kind of keeping things close to their chest. And I feel like that is actually maybe people around him keeping the truth close to their chest and only divulging certain information here and there, very decisive to kind of manipulate him and so forth. And then I have the Princess of Cups. Now, the Princess of Cups can also represent psychic abilities and so forth. See, I look at the High Priestess, it's reversed, okay? And I look at the King of Cups, it's reversed. And then I also look at the Princess of Cups, it's reversed. I do acknowledge he has abilities, but something blocked his ability and so forth. And I feel like there was a force bigger than the QAnon, okay? That kind of impeded him and so forth. In his position, I have the Five of Swords. It is upright, which the battle is over, what happened at the Capitol and so forth. And I actually feel him looking at the casualties with the loss of life and things like that. I actually feel he's sorry for what happened. I feel there is remorse and so forth with the loss of life. He does not make me feel the type of person who would want bad things to happen to people necessarily. Except, well, obviously if he thinks people are, whatever, eating babies, maybe them, but you know what I'm saying, like regular cops and things like that. I do feel he does have an issue with Nancy Pelosi, though. I've got the Queen of Wands in the reverse position. Okay, so he's not a fan of hers. And I feel like to him, she kind of represents a lot of things he is against, but it's because he's been told certain things and so forth. Let me look a little bit more. Hold on one sec. I do have Eight of Wands in the reverse position. Eight of Wands has been my COVID card. I do want to draw another card. I feel this is a big thing. This is the big one. And then I have the Starman in the reverse position, which is the Magician. Okay. So, wow, we've got a lot of stuff turned upside down for this poor dude. He's got a lot of spiritual cards. He's got the High Priestess. He's got the Magician. He's got the King of Cups. So I know he's an empath. I know he's a sensitive. I feel there's psychic abilities. He's got the Princess of Cups going on. But I feel that his abilities were just completely hijacked and taken over. And something like dragged him to the lower astral and really messed him up. I'm going to pull some from the Shaman Oracle. But I feel like his ability was totally cut off to the point that he can't think for himself anymore. But the ability is there. He can get it back. But he has to fight. He's going to have to fight this. But this is going to have to be a fight of the spiritual forces, is what it comes down to. He's going to have to do that. But all of these reversals are very strong. But I feel like COVID made a huge impact. I feel that's one of the things, and the COVID, he was seeing that as some kind of, they're using this as an excuse to enslave. And see, I've got that retreat card. Now, him being in jail right now, and I had that Four of Swords, which is also a retreat card. Okay, a couple things that makes me feel. I feel like Spirit wants to get him alone, so maybe he can kind of start to purge and start awakening, while he's sitting in a cell where he's away from everyone, he's away from social media and everything like that, and maybe kind of realizes the loss of life and what happened and so forth. And I feel like Spirit, is hopeful that there is some hope there. I also have the card for him honoring your energy. And I feel that's a big thing. What was he putting his energy into? If he's a shaman, he needs to be a healer. He needs to be helping others and healing them and giving them good messages of spirit and so forth. Doing the journey and so forth. Helping people with soul retrieval. And yeah, the card discernment. Sorry guys, this is a dark deck. It's real hard to read, but I will tell you what it says. Discernment is a huge thing of ability, and this is exactly what he lost. This is exactly what Q Shaman lost, is the ability to discern. What is of the spirit, what is not of the spirit, what is right, what is wrong, what is illusion, what is reality. And discernment is one of the gifts of the spirit. And he, you know, he needs to get that back. And then I do have the card home. Yeah, exactly. He needs to be able to return to what is home. It's kind of like, I feel like Spirit saying, you need to come home. You know, the goal is to get you home. You know, but you can't be doing all this crazy stuff along the way and not listening and so forth. What's another card? And I drew it again. If he ever happens to see this, honoring your energy. Spirit like really wants to emphasize this one for him. You know, all that energy that Spirit connected him to, you know, be able to access the astral, to be able to heal others, to be helping humanity and so forth. It's time to come home, obviously, you know, and honor the energy, respect the gift, the ability that he has. I'm going to draw from the Animal Oracle for him too. But yeah, that's what I feel like. He just completely got blocked, his abilities and so forth. Something deeper and darker, not just stuff on the internet, but a spiritual force. I do have the card Whale Spirit. Trust the great mystery. See, this is the thing. Okay, these QAnon, it's like, oh, everything's a mystery, this, that, right? Okay, you know, that's what they, oh, everything's a mystery, this, that, but I got the answers. And Spirit, it was a lie. All this stuff was a lie. And I hope he finds, you know, if he ever finds my vid, it was all a lie. But there is a great mystery. There's something way deeper than that. That's the one the shaman's supposed to be connected with. You know, the mystery of discovering the true self. You know, to find the spirit within. A spirit that loves everyone. And I also have, this is interesting, Coyote Spirit, trust in divine detours. At the same time as I have to look at that, because he obviously made a major detour on the path, I kind of look at that maybe it was meant to be. You know, maybe he was meant to get kind of blocked and cut off from the spirit for a little bit and a little bit lost his way. Because I'll tell you, if he can find his way back home, okay, just like the card, and I really say into his center, you know, and get it connected to his inner voice again and his ability, and connect to the reason why he became a shaman, and connect to the healer spirit again. What an amazing tale he would have to tell. You know, what kind of a story? No, I see clearly now. The rain is gone, just like the song. I get it now. I lost my mind. I see, that's the thing. The shaman, what you guys need to understand. The shaman is a self-healed madman. Okay? And what they can deal with voices. You know, many of you know they can be schizophrenic. But they have their own wounds. And they have to heal themselves. So he has ability within him to heal himself and fix himself. But maybe he was meant to take a detour. Maybe spirit needed him to make a detour. That is part of his soul path. So I actually have to look at that. That kind of awakened me a little bit. Even though we got blocked, even though we got into this war, you could say with dark forces, that got all confusing and convoluting and everything else. He was meant to take this detour because it's going to teach him a huge lesson. And I also got, dear spirit, bring a gentle touch. And I kind of feel that. I know he's probably said some harsh things. I'm sure people could show me, oh my God, look what he said on Parlor or whatever. But I don't think that's a spirit. I think he really is a shaman, but he got cut off on his ability. He got, you know, sacked by some dark forces and some lies. And he got caught up in the fray and everything, you know, and spirit wants him to come back home and just reconnect and everything. A lot of those people are gone. You know, there are some people that will wake up, and I hope they do. I really, really hope they do. You know, of course, we got to heal. But there are some people who, you know, just want the hate. I don't feel Q Shaman is a hater. I don't feel he is. I feel he was really believing some of this stuff. But he's not necessarily a hateful guy. I don't feel that. I feel he got caught up in the fray like a lot. I think I have a little more empathy for him because I've seen a lot of decent, light people get swept up in this. People that, even some people that have big followings, I see them on YouTube, they're talking about beautiful spiritual things, and about awakening the planet, and going into the 5D consciousness and everything, and giving that love. And then they've got these crazy other beliefs. Okay, it doesn't make them bad people. I know how powerful this stuff is, and I don't think he's a bad person. I really don't feel he's a bad person and stuff. I just feel he's lost his way. He's not on drugs though. That's good to know. He's sober. He's sober. He may have been on something long before, but I do feel he's sober. He's completely clean. But he's got to clean up the rest of the stuff. He definitely does. Let's look. Yeah, let me ask a couple more cards for him. I do have the Eight of Swords in the reverse position, so I do feel he might get out on bond or something. I don't feel he's going to be in jail for long. Well, let me look a little bit. What's kind of his fate, if Spirit can even tell me now. Wow, Prince of Cups in the reverse position, I'm telling you. He's still got a battle. We've got that Five of Wands. It's in the reverse position. I feel this is more of an internal battle that he's got to win. The dark forces are really wanting to use him. He showed up. He's become a celebrity. He's very popular at the moment. And the dark forces are not done with him, and that's what Shaman needs to understand. But I got the Two of Wands, so he just needs to take the right road. I see this often for the fork in the road. When someone is sitting at the fork in the road, and it's like you need to make the right choice. He needs to choose the path with heart. He has to get off this dark path here. He really needs to do it. The Prince of Cups makes me feel in his life, since he's the King of Cups, a younger male. I'm not sure if he has a son, but I definitely do feel at least a younger male that looks up to him, that he has some influence on. He needs to heal that. But then I do have the Three of Wands in the reverse position. This is part of the wake-up call. One of the things with Three of Wands, we talk about that in tarot, is the moment arrives, your ship comes in and everything, and it's all reversed. So the ship didn't come in, right? No, it didn't. He's in jail. Okay, he thought something was his ship, and it wasn't, and he got deceived. So I'm hoping he wakes up. I do hope he wakes up, but no, I don't, I know some of you might, oh, look at this link, he's terrible, he said this, that. I really think he got swept up in the fray and stuff. He's not unlike people in light workers of the world, so Spirit wants him to come home. I definitely feel that. I do feel actually some hope for the guy. I feel some hope for the guy. In retreat, as I got two retreat cards, Four Swords, and then that retreat card of the Shaman deck, if he can sit in there and just kind of sit with himself, he could have an awakening moment. He could have an awakening moment. It is very possible. That's what I'm hoping for. But yeah, it'll be, hopefully they will have an interview with him. It would be nice to get his side to see what's going on, but I don't think they want to give too much voice to too much that's going on. But let's see. It would be very interesting if several months from now we do see an interview with him and he kind of renounces some of this. I do feel inevitably he will, though.